I'm Orland Park Mayor Dan McLaughlin. The following program is brought to you by the Village of Orland Park.
Hi, I'm Trustee Jim Dodge, and welcome to another Orland Park in Focus. I'm joined today by Mayor McLaughlin and John Calzaretta. John, before we get started, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Well, it's great to be here with you guys. I'm John Calzaretta. I'm CEO of a company called Bonding Point, and Bonding Point is the technology behind Orland Park's latest platform, InOurCommunity. I'm an Orland Park area guy. I've been out here for 23 years, and I'm born and bred in Chicago. So committed to Orland and happy to see this thing taking off in town.
Great. That's great to hear. So for a long time on the village board, we've wanted to find many ways to engage with our residents, kind of have a two-way dialogue, if you will, and make sure that we understand what they want and they could make sure that we hear what they want.
Sure.
And so that's been one of the founding ideas. But Dan, why don't you give us a little bit more about how we got to this point with this particular program?
Yeah, well, like you said, we always try and find ways to stay in touch with the community and learn what they are looking for or what they want, and also to educate them on what we're doing. But at the same time, we've been adding over the years numerous events and programs for families to be able to stay in Orland and not always have to go downtown Chicago or somewhere else. Right. So as we develop all these programs, now the question is, how do you inform the public about all these programs? So John and I have been friends for a long time. He's been out here in Orland Park, and he brought the idea of this Bonding Points program called InOurCommunity to us. I think it's outstanding. We were the first community to actually get on board with it. He can talk to you a little more about details, but it's really a unique way of engaging the community, letting the public in Orland Park learn about what we're doing, get rewarded for being involved and for helping out in Orland Park and attending some of the events and activities. So it's really a neat program. John can give you more of the details.
Yeah, I remember when you first brought this up, how excited you were about this, and as I learned about the program, it was pretty interesting too. So John, give everyone a sense for what it is and how it works, and we got some specific questions for you.
Yeah, sure. So kind of echoing the mayor's points, we made an observation. We had a piece of technology that was designed to reward people, kind of a loyalty program. Okay. But there's enough loyalty programs in the world, in our opinion. And one of the areas of focus we looked at was really municipalities and communities. To your point, people are, motivated to be engaged in their community, but they're challenged in this digital age of having numerous sites to pay attention to, whether it's a website or Facebook or any type of social media. And there's the human nature of wanting something for the effort too. So rewarding and engagement seemed to resonate with us. On top of that, looking at communities, we really felt that area businesses were challenged in this age of advertising and marketing. A lot of the vehicles they have to get the word out about their brand are expensive, and in a lot of cases, they're a little dated. Whether it's a paper coupon or a magazine or a newspaper, right. There's really not a lot of metrics behind it. So this InOurCommunity platform rose to the top, and it's the way to combine getting the word out about events, rewarding people for paying attention to what's happening in the community, and then allowing area businesses to advertise very affordably. And just to give you an idea on that, it's $120 a year to advertise on the site.
For a local business.
For a local business only, right. So this is community centric, right? That's the real driving force behind it, is make it about the community, factor in all elements of the community. So the village is obviously a mainstay part of that, but people are interested in what's happening at the library and in public safety, police, fire, you name it, the nonprofits. Orland is a robust community, and InOurCommunity allows them to see really everything going on at once, and then getting a little something for paying attention to it.
Dan, over the years, the board's had many initiatives. Tell us how this program would help with those.
Yeah, when John first brought this to me, I obviously saw the potential, helping the local businesses, getting our community involved, and all that community engagement issues was something I was excited about. But I also saw the possibility of kind of boosting our sustainability efforts that we launched a number of years ago. We started Smart Living Orland Park. We were trying to get people to think about conserving energy, saving water, all that. So here was an opportunity that you can actually reward people for getting involved in our conservation efforts and our sustainability efforts. So I thought, along with what John presented it on, which is getting people involved and rewarding them and giving the local business an opportunity, I saw it as an additional opportunity to encourage people to get involved in our sustainability efforts.
No, and I think that's great because it speaks to the community's values, and this is
Right.
the platform is a way to engage, right? So John, let's talk a little bit about since it's launched. What have we learned? How are we doing? How are the numbers?
Yeah, we're thrilled with the numbers. So we launched in early March,
Okay.
really, and just to reiterate, this is a first of its kind of deal. Orland Park is the first of any municipality in the country. We've done extensive research to try and figure out, if we were entering a market that's already
Right.
kind of saturated. Couldn't be any further from the truth, and Orland really has been innovative in doing it. So, in some respects, there was some things we had to learn as we launched this platform, Orland being the pilot with us. So, to your question, the program is ahead of schedule. As of today, we're just shy of 3,000 members signed up, which is quick in the scheme of driving a new program and getting people signed up. The kind of cool backdrop to that is it's all digital, so we know who's on it, how often, how many clicks, and without being to the number specific, I would tell you that over half the members engage on the platform at least 6 or 7 times a month. So
That's great.
So that's
that
the
kind
key,
of
right?
engagement's
If
great,
you're going
right.
to talk about engagement,
Yeah.
it better be more than somebody signed up and forgot about something. So that's what's really neat. And again, to the businesses, we can show them who's clicking on their coupon, who's downloading things, who's liking them on Facebook. So that metrics is key. So we're ahead of plan. I would have thought by now somewhere around 1,500 to 2,000 people. So that's great. And now we're really just hitting the summer, right? So we'll be present
Right.
at the Taste and at the Farmers Market in different places.
So we can
signing
drive
people up.
adoption.
Absolutely. And it takes a minute to join. So that's nice. And it's really not a big data play. So it's just first
Right.
name, last name, email. So we're ahead on that. And the platform continues to grow. So as we're in the community now and meeting with the different constituencies, they're providing us with content. So I think you asked, what have we learned? We learned that people like to keep it fresh. So on the site,
right.
every week, so there's 30 categories on the site today. So when we started...
Give us an example or two.
Well, a mainstay category would just be programs and events.
Okay.
So you go
village
there,
functioning.
and it's a combination of the village, the park district, and different things happening in the community. So, what's going on? Hey, I can earn points just for reading about it.
Right.
So that's an important point, I think, which was different from where we started. At first, it may have come across that you needed to be social media savvy. If you didn't have Facebook or Twitter, you might have thought maybe this isn't for me. The site right now is you get 25 points for just reading something. You don't have to share it or post it or anything. Now, if you do that, you get more points, but people are on there reading every day.
That's probably worth repeating as we take this out to the community, that this is not necessarily a social media play, it's a communication and engagement play.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely. And we certainly want people to share information. That's part of the communal aspect of it. So being informed as a resident is the primary goal, but then getting the word out on things. And that's what we're starting to see, so that's fun. But
no, that's great to hear. That's great to hear.
I
about
would
the
say that
launch.
he mentioned something I think is a key. How many times do you go on a website if you're looking for some information, something that you might use often, and the website pretty much stays the same. I mean, there's not a whole lot of changes to bring you back to it. But this site, it's changing daily or at least weekly, because he's adding new programs, new events, new rewards, new advertisers. It's constantly changing. So I think that's an exciting part of it.
Yeah.
John, for one of the things that we've talked about on the board is for our local businesses, the world is going increasingly digital at a faster clip, and with generational change and the adoption of technology, that's just going to be all important for businesses to survive and thrive.
Agree.
How's it going with local businesses in terms of the adoption, and what else might we do?
Yeah, so it's been an evolution since March, because in a lot of ways, the reaction has been, now what is this? So digital has existed, but this is my perspective, right? But digital has been kind of a next step. They took something from kind of a tried and true approach and threw a .com on it and called it digital, but it really didn't change kind of the dynamic of how people interacted with it. So there's tons of websites and tons of apps. What we've tried to do is really say, not only is it digital, but it's tied to the community. So that's really the hook. People are going to come here for information, and when they're here, they'll also have the opportunity to see community-based offers. So it ties together really nicely. The other thing is, the metrics, so they know when people clicked on their coupon, viewed it. But then we integrate social media. So what's important to there's a great business in town in Orland Park Crossing called Wear Eyewear. It's a glass boutique, right? And that they were one of the early adopters to advertise. And I asked the business owner, because we check in regularly, are people coming in with your offer and the coupon and such? And the reaction is, you know what? It's growing in popularity.
Okay.
But what's more important is we've doubled the amount of likes that they have on Facebook.
So it is having a benefit
So
for
it's
them on
having a
social
benefit.
media. Okay.
And how do they get those likes? Well, people are getting a couple hundred points or 1,000 points for liking a business. So
Right.
as the business owner, as much as we want them to advertise with us, having people like them on Facebook obviously allows them to post their own offers and content. So
Because that then facilitates, a dialogue, right? Which is what we
Exactly.
want. We want the engagement and the interaction.
Right. So to me, that's what's really different. And at $120 a year, not to beat that to death, right? It's kind of like it's
Pretty minor for
it's
business.
really minor when you think of traditional ads are $300 or $400 a week.
Yeah,
in different
absolutely.
medium. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
different.
I was just going to say, I found it interesting when a couple people that I know well that don't live in Orland, but they live close by, but they're regulars to Orland. They shop here regularly, and that they got wind of it, and they signed up for an account. They're getting rewards for responding to things
Right.
and posting on social media positive comments about the village, and then they're using the points for gift certificates for restaurants and that
Hey,
kind of thing.
perfect, right?
it's really-
Perfect.
Yeah,
Sure.
But when we first rolled it out, though, we did a little bit of advertising to kind of get it out there.
Yeah.
And I think you said numerous communities called you right away, even somebody, a town in Canada.
Yeah, it's been really overwhelming with the response, and just in a lot of ways, it's like we love the demand, but we're trying to figure it out and grow. But in short order, since March, as we've rolled out Orland, right, the first, by 4th of July, we'll have 10 communities up.
Wow, that's
primarily
great.
in the south suburbs, just because I grew up on a plane. As a sales guy for so many years, it's nice to be able to drive to clients and meetings, so keeping it local. But Chicagoland in general has a great opportunity for this. But yeah, going from the first in Orland to hopefully 10 by the 4th and 20 by Halloween, that's really the adoption is there.
Yeah.
So we're pleased with that.
It's great. All right, so then in terms of what's next, right? What's coming? So we know we're gonna be at the upcoming summer events. What else is coming down the pike?
Yeah.
Well, right now, the numbers are good, but there's 22,000 homes in Orland
You
Park.
want to get that up?
Yeah,
I'd like
sure.
to, I'd like to get that
higher.
3,000 to 10,000 or 15,000, because then you really are engaging the
Broad
vast majority of the community, which would be outstanding. Now, I know
Yeah.
that's potentially a couple years down the road, but then you keep trying to keep growing. So
Yeah.
we need to keep doing things like this just to promote it and let people know what it's all about. Because I think, John, you mentioned earlier, some people that are not as savvy as others in the social media are a little nervous or not sure what they're getting into. And
Sure.
so we need to tell them.
And not everybody's an early adopter to something new. So back to your point about businesses, a lot of the delay is really like, what is this? We don't even know what this is. So they have to digest it and then compare it to alternatives. And same thing for users. I do feel that we are not yet at that tipping point of it becoming kind of an organic growth where people are talking to each other. It's still...
And folks see other folks using it, right?
and it's just a matter of time. When people start, when people skip the line or have VIP seating at the Taste of Orland or VIP parking, and they see the InOurCommunity signs, they're either going to be really aggravated or really motivated to join, because they're going to be like, how did you get this?
Let's
Right?
hope they're motivated.
Yeah, right.
Aggravation's not
Aggravated
good.
that they didn't get to capitalize
But
on
that's
it. So,
but that's the
yeah.
fun part of this too. It's not real black and white.
Yeah.
They come up with some creative ideas to reward people. So we've all been to Taste of Orland,
Yep.
and you know how crowded it gets, and parking sometimes is blocks away. So to have 3 or 4 spots in our community posted on some parking spaces right up close,
idea.
Yeah.
they can bid on those or buy those for points, and I think that alone will get people talking.
Yeah, Adirondack chairs at the Orland Park West venue and things like that. Yeah, so we're summer. The weather hasn't been so great this spring, and we're looking forward to summer and really getting.
maybe you should
the
have
brand out
umbrellas
there.
for rewards.
Yeah, exactly. Right, absolutely.
Guys, so
Yeah.
other things we want to mention to the folks watching? That
Yeah,
are coming?
I think it's important that at this phase in our kind of growth in Orland Park is we were focused primarily on the site and the content for the members and
We gotta
making
get- we
sure
gotta
it
get
was
it up and
rich
running.
like that. We had to get it up and running, and we had to kind of figure out what people were most interested in and how to keep it changing frequently. So now we're in a mode where every week, all of the 30 tiles, 3 things in each tile change every week. So it's fresh. But what I would tell you is a key factor in the next kind of 3 to 6 months are the businesses. So we want this to really feel to a user like, why would I come to InOurCommunity? Well, not only for the things we spoke about, the content and the rewards, which are nice, but really to kind of be the location to find deals or offerings for community businesses.
Or just what's going on.
Right.
For sure. So today, we're probably at about 35 to 40 businesses advertising on it. I would anticipate that going up to 200-300 businesses by the fall.
Yeah.
So, why would you go there? Hey, I'm going to order a pizza. Let's see what's happening in our community. That's the whole goal to it. So I think that'll be an exciting facet of it over the coming months.
As we build business users as well.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think along with advertising, aren't you asking advertisers or businesses to also give some items in terms of certificates or one dinner with that you can use for rewards?
Sure. In-kind rewards are an appealing thing. Bonefish Grill in Orland Park has been great. Bang Bang Shrimp appetizers are beloved by many, and they're happy they're happy to have you come in with that. So they've been very generous in providing those as rewards or giveaways as incentives to sign up, and it's a win-win.
Right.
And what's interesting about that is that tells us what's popular and what people like, right?
Yeah.
So that's an important tool for us to have the insight. So that's where the community engagement and the dialogue comes from.
Yeah, and we're doing surveys
information
and
tells us
trivia. So it's not just information, right? It's not just a website. It's interactive. There's promotion codes you can pick up. In fact, for those that watch this, we're going to run a 5,000 point promotion. So if you're watching this, you can put
wait.
OPTV.
Slow down and say that one, again, right?
If you're watching this show and become a member or are an existing member, you can put OPTV in the community code box, and you'll get 5,000 points just for that, which is a significant amount of points. So it's fun. It's treasure hunt.
So that's interesting because that would be a way of tracking how many people are actually even watching the show.
Sure. Absolutely.
I would think that helps, just like some of the other surveys we're doing.
We
and
put
that
a thing on your
I'll
bumper.
predict a surge to 10,000 users.
I should have said how many people are actually watching it, even though Jim Dodge is hosting.
Hey, slow down.
Right.
So, no, good. So we'll do a reminder of that one. So this is really exciting stuff, and it'd be great to see how it works in Orland and works in the other communities, because that just has to matter for your firm in terms of getting better, so we can keep growing this.
Absolutely. Right. Sure. Lessons learned each town. So it's great to be in partnership with Orland and really.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep looking for ways to use the site to, like I said, encourage sustainability. People saving water and energy and doing some things around their house that are green. So it's a unique opportunity.
Yeah, it's a great program. So, all right. Well, let's. Any closing thought or final comments, Mayor McLaughlin?
I would encourage people to try it if they haven't already. It's not that hard to do, and it's rewarding.
There you go.
Yeah, it's simple to join. It's just InOur.community/Orland Park. That's the URL. It takes literally less than a minute to join, and it's completely free.
And we'll have a presence at all the things we're doing this summer.
Yeah,
right?
we'll be in the community. That's the goal of all this.
Great. And one more time, the kicker for having watched the show and joining
is the community code is OPTV, and you get 5,000 points for doing that. Which
once more about signing up.
So sign up is just InOur.community/Orland Park. Mm-hmm. And there's a create an account page, and it's really just first name, last name, email, and zip code, and you're in.
There you go. Great. All right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the growth and some of the comments.
Thank you.
I've been hearing a lot of positive.
And the engagement. I mean, I think I can speak on behalf of the board. We're really sensitive to making sure that the residents, the people we serve, their voices are heard on everything we touch and do, and this is another way to do that. So we're excited about the program.
Thank you.
All right, John, thank you. Mayor McLaughlin, thanks. And thank you for watching.